Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Sinead O'Connor.
And this is the news. Starting off with a big news story and a big title development today. Kofi Kingston is out of the WWE Championship match at Fastlane, replaced by a returning Kevin Owens. This all kicked off on SmackDown Live last night. We were in the midst of the contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston when out comes Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He announces the title shot is going to go to someone more deserving and introduces Kevin Owens, who marches down to the ring, signs the contract. It will be Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens at Fastlane. Kofi Kingston is out.
He is indeed. This is very, very interesting stuff. Like, a lot of people got really annoyed by this, and understandably so. Kofi Kingston has become SmackDown's MVP recently. His recent performances have been absolutely phenomenal, and he's over as hell as well. He got some great reactions last night. But this is wrestling, man. This is what happens. It is a dramatic form of storytelling designed to elicit an emotional response in the audience, and that's exactly what's happened here.
Oh, absolutely.
People are angry that Kevin Owens is in, and people are upset for Kofi, and that's the story. I wonder if this is maybe going to lead to either a triple threat, boo, or Kofi getting a singles title shot at WrestleMania. Yay. What do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that they've recognised the huge amount of fan support behind Kofi and thought, just chucking him in for a match at Fastlane would kind of diminish it a little bit.
Yeah.
Holding off, like you say, winding people up, just like they've done with the whole Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch thing, is always beneficial in WrestleMania season.
It's good stuff.
Understandably, though, people are very angry, including members of the New Day. Xavier Woods tweeted after SmackDown Live last night, so what does Kofi have to do? He is a multi-time champion. He's given 11 amazing years to this company. He's pinned the WWE champion. Kofi is more than good enough. Kofi is more than worthy. What else do you want from him? What else? They're working the boys.
It's good stuff. It's really good stuff, this. And like, Kevin Owens was great as well. He's kind of like this, he's pretending to be this good guy, but there's a real sinister undercurrent to the whole thing. It's really insincere, but not in a really on-the-nose way like The Miz and Shane McMahon. This was really great stuff all around. I mean, SmackDown was a high-quality show, and this bait and switch went over really, really well. It was every bit as effective as what they did with Ric Flair's 70th birthday celebrations. Everyone expected Becky Lynch. Boom, Batista. It's a similar standard of storytelling. WWE's doing really well this week, man.
Absolutely.
Bruce Pritchard, killing the game.
Absolutely. Speaking of returns, by the way, it wasn't the only return on SmackDown Live last night. Matt Hardy returned to the ring. He tagged with his brother Jeff in a win over The Bar. And Wrestling Inc. are reporting that this is because the Hardy Boys have signed a one-year extension on their contract with a significant pay increase.
Very
First time we've
nice.
seen Matt Hardy in the ring since, I think, September 2018. Good to have him back, and he looked in really good shape.
He's in great shape, and it's good to see him back, particularly after last week when he tweeted something along the lines of, my contract expires in 10 days. I'm comfortable outside of WWE. Looks like he was just working everyone, including us, because we made a video about it.
But we do get some things right.
Do we? Yes, we do! The Honky Tonk Man is going into the Hall of Fame. So this was reported by us. We broke that story. It wasn't PW Insider, it wasn't Shagger Dave, it was us, me and Adam, definitely. He's going into the Hall of Fame. This was announced by CBS Sports before SmackDown last night, and then confirmed officially by WWE during the show. So there's a quote from Honky Tonk Man here. He has said, WWE is the place to be. It's the place that if I'm ready to finish up, that's where I want to be. It's home for me because I have so many fond memories of everything that was accomplished by WWE and from what I've accomplished myself. He goes on to thank the team and say he's very, very happy to be inducted. So this is very deserving. Like we spoke about last week, he called himself the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. That is not without merit. He still has the longest individual reign, well over 400 days. He was one of the most effective heels and heat magnets of his era. He remains the benchmark against which all other cowardly heel champions who avoid matches at all costs are judged. I think this is really fitting, and it's a great one to slot in alongside DX.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, another fantastic video package airing on SmackDown Live for him. As you say, just to reiterate that, so deserving, a true legend of the industry. And I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say at the Hall of Fame.
Me too, man. That could be a really fun promo because, one of Honky's greatest strengths, Honky, I probably shouldn't call him that, one of HTM's greatest strengths was always the promo work, the character work. He was so detestable, it was unreal. Even when he came back at the 2001 Royal Rumble, when Kane just murdered him with the guitar and stuff. Really great stuff, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing this speech. I hope it's a bit less hillbilly Jim and a bit more, I don't know, good, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, indeed. Becky Lynch's mugshots have been released. As you've probably seen doing the rounds on the internet earlier today. She tweeted them out after paying for her own bail. She paid her own way out of jail and subsequently tweeted WWE chairman Vince McMahon asking if she could claim it back through work expenses.
Pay cash.
She is brilliant on Twitter. She obviously was arrested on Monday Night Raw after attacking Natalya and then obviously Ronda Rousey midway through their tag team match against the Riot Squad. Big pull-apart brawl, officials, security, and then subsequently Atlanta PD, who took her away in handcuffs. Yes, and she has paid her bail. She is out, and she also tweeted with her photo of the mugshots regarding Ronda Rousey's actions following that on Raw, saying basically she didn't do all this to take the belt off or to be handed the belt by Stephanie McMahon. She did it to beat Ronda Rousey, which was also covered by Charlotte Flair on SmackDown this week. See, it all comes together.
It's beautiful.
Charlotte declaring that on next week's Monday Night Raw, she may well walk out there and just get handed the title because she is the chosen one for WWE.
She's afraid of nothing. It's great stuff. This is really great stuff. It's like multi-platform storytelling here. You know, like social media has probably had a detrimental impact on the wrestling business. It obviously pulls the curtain back, it exposes characters, all that Jim Cornette stuff. But stuff like this is just so good. When you see someone like Becky who's willing to throw themselves 100% into the narrative, into the character, into the storyline, and use this platform to push things forward, to further stuff and push things forward. I've just said the exact same thing again. It's really good to see, like, she's taking the game to new levels. She really is.
And don't you worry, wrestling fans, by the way, if you're a fan of that image of her in a police station, I mean, it's just her against the wall, but still. If you're a fan of that, don't worry, it probably is going to be released on a t-shirt very soon because, as Becky herself pointed out, she's got bail money to recover. So.
Yes, she does. Gotta sell some goddamn t-shirts, baby.
Right, what have we got today for today's final news story?
So, today's final news story. Bray Wyatt says he's coming back.
Can we just skip this and move on to Twitter questions?
I mean, no, not really. So basically, Big Bray, we've spoken about him a few times in recent weeks. There's been a lot of talk of him coming back, and it hasn't really happened yet. Obviously, his partner, Matt Hardy, came back on SmackDown last night. Bray got busy on Twitter. There was an article posted by Cage Side Seats entitled, "Actually, Bray, we don't have any faith," which was kind of a rundown of his failings as a character, let's be honest. He's kind of gone off the rails in recent years. Bray quote tweeted this, and I'm going to read the thing. He said, "Dear Sean Reuter," who's the guy who wrote the article, "I don't care what you think." Well, I mean, clearly he does, otherwise he wouldn't be tweeting about it.
Not
but
bothered,
anyway,
not bothered.
Yeah, I'm not bothered, honestly. I'm not owned. How's this for cryptic? I'll be back soon. And when everyone sees how great I am, you'll owe me a beer. Until then, stop writing reports on me every time I write something. So presumably, now that we've read this tweet, he's going to shoot on us as well.
Intriguing, yeah, and especially considering the fact that I forgot to mention earlier, Matt Hardy appears to have abandoned his Woken gimmick, saying he's learnt to control I think it was Woken wonder that's inside of him in a post-match interview. Do you see him getting involved in Hardy's business, or do you see him being utilised in other ways?
I think they're very much done with each other. That was the impression that I got. Unless he goes back to SmackDown with Luke Harper and feuds with the Hardy Boys, maybe, but I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think it's time for something fresh, something new, something completely different from Bray. And just looking at that tweet, that didn't seem like the kind of tweet that a crazy cult leader would make, if indeed a crazy cult leader tweets. Like, it was almost like it was a pseudo shoot and really weird and out of character. So that's a good example of how not to use social media.
Yeah, exactly. Before we get to our Twitter questions, I do think that they can salvage the character with a decent storyline on a comeback. It'll take a lot of work, but I'm just glad that hopefully, by the sounds of things, touch wood, he's not going to be involved in the Daniel Bryan storyline as we head to WrestleMania. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions for today, starting with One from Daniel Petrick, if you would want to tweet them at us, at WhatCulture WWE on Twitter. Dan says, is it possible WWE is doing a slow build where Vince continues to go over the rest of the fans' heads to do what, rest of the fans' heads, sorry, misread that, to do what he thinks is best, and we get to a point where storyline has Triple H taking control of WWE from wacky Vince?
I can 100% see that, although I don't think that Triple H will truly take over backstage for a number of years. I can absolutely 100% see that. You know, Vince has been doing these things that are deliberately designed to provoke people, and honestly, in character, not out of character, in character, come off really out of touch. Things like the Becky, Ronda, Charlotte situation, things like replacing Kofi with KO. It's like he's this deluded, crazy old master troll, and he's even messing with his own family. I think that'd be a great storyline, and I'd like to see it happen.
Keep living in the past in storyline, stop living in the past in real life, Vince.
Boom.
Exactly. Next question comes from HP, who says, do you think Randy Orton will get involved in the Triple H Batista feud? I realised after Monday Night Raw that it basically involves one member of Evolution antagonising a second member of Evolution by attacking a third member of Evolution.
It makes sense, but I believe that Randy Orton will feud with AJ Styles going into WrestleMania 35. That was set up on this week's SmackDown. Very brief backstage confrontation between the two. I do think that makes sense, though, particularly as there was some nice spicy stuff between Randy and Batista in that Evolution reunion. However, I just don't see it happening. I think Randy will be too busy with AJ Styles. That was Matthew McConaughey, but never mind.
What a tough year AJ Styles has had. He's been kicked in the dick so many times. He's lost the WWE Championship to Daniel Bryan. He's had his family effectively tortured and followed by Samoa Joe.
He's gotten really confused by that Gillette advert.
He got really confused by that Gillette advert. And now Randy Orton's going to finger his ear at WrestleMania. There you go. Final question today comes from Shaweezy to the Stars on Twitter. Really like this question. They say, if WWE can get it right, do you think getting Bruce Buffer to announce the Becky, Ronda and Charlotte triple threat match at WrestleMania would be a good idea, adding to the big fight feel?
Yes, 100%. They should get Bruce Buffer in for the whole of WrestleMania, man. He's so good at his job. Whether or not the UFC would consent to that is another matter entirely. Dana White and Vince McMahon, not exactly the nicest guys in the world, so that might be a tough negotiation. However, can you imagine Big Bruce doing the Buffer 180?
Yes.
Spinning around with his cards.
Time.
Fighting out of the blue corner. This woman is a lass kicker from Ireland or whatever. He'd obviously do a lot better job than I just did, but that's a great call. Well done.
Yeah, Bruce Buffer would be fantastic on WrestleMania. Let's move on to today's and finally. And a bit of a revelation for you, Andy Murray. It's been announced recently that it is going to be Asuka versus Mandy Rose for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Remember that at Fastlane a week on Sunday. But I've discovered through a bit of sleuth reporting, it's actually going to be a handicap match. It is going to be
a handicap match.
Indeed, it is going to be Asuka versus Mandy Rose, and as you can see here in the released image, Lio Rush's arm. There we have it. Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Lio Rush's left arm.
Get it.
You heard it here first at Fastlane. That's an image they released.
Wow, good job, WWE editing boys.
Phil, as an editor, your thoughts on this image?
Really bad.
Yeah, and also if we can zoom in as well, apparently Mandy Rose just has a bit of a body missing as well.
Wow.
Did you get the work experience, kid, to knock that together? Because that's how
one job.
Yeah, that's how little they care about the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I could make a better image than that in half a minute in Pixlr. Come on, get your act together, WWE.
But best of luck. My money is on Lio Rush's arm going home with the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Well, we already know what he thinks of women's wrestling after that Emma Asuka comment the other year, so...
let us know your thoughts on that.
And we'll find out if he's ready for Asuka, the little toad.
All of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check out our new wrestling podcast by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes or Spotify. An interview with the guy behind Starcast, Conrad Thompson, coming out very soon. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Screw Lio Rush.